Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Curse and Steel in Supreme Rule Ultimate. In previous episodes we were mostly observing about the British cruising around in Sea of Azov, sinking a lot of French convoys and building a bit of trenches over here so we'll have a bit better defensive positions and improving our infrastructure. Also the fact that we are producing probably a bit too much units right now. Or not necessarily producing but not using a lot of it. Let's just go ahead and reserve all of these. Which way are they going? Are they going up? No, that's missile production there, never mind. Are they going somewhere? That's much we do know. And our submarines are still sitting over here. I think what I might do, I might just send in more troops there. All submarines there. Let's just go ahead and send in a third one. Keep two on either one of the other groups there. Technically speaking, I could just have all 7 in here. But yeah, if we can just make sure that they don't actually enter the Black Sea at all, the French, then anything else is gonna be pretty safe in, well, respectively. I do wonder though, there is supplies in here? Do we have sea transit and supply? Yeah, so we could technically move in our submarines even further to blockade that. Oh, and Austria wants to buy some timber. Well, I mean, that's fine. Doing some good deals with them. You know what? I'll gather up these 4 submarines as well. I'll keep the submarines in 2 groups, so if one of them gets ambushed, then the other one can still hold on. At least for a little bit. Like, I'll have one over here out of the sort of back... or entrance into Black Sea, and the other one over here in the entrance to the Aegean Sea. Right, so how much do we still have agriculture? We've still got plenty. Timber, we've got quite a bit. Are we selling the timber? We are, but we're also keeping some of it for ourselves, just so that we can do some special trades, potentially for better money. Okay, there we go. So another submarine is arriving. Have these? No, they are still the Iron Stars. And we've got the 2 supply depots down over here, so that is going to improve the supplies in this region. We don't have a massive amount of industry in it. We've got some military goods production, some coal power, and petroleum, and a lot of metal. Which, to be fair, we've got plenty of metal production, but if we're going to increase the production even further, then we shall be doing a lot of trading, that's for sure. We might want to reduce the minimum price to like 40 right now, just so that we can make sure that we don't suddenly stop selling it. But yeah, that should be alright. Is there still... how much do we spend on a daily on the military production? It's 8 million. Repair is 5 million and military is 24. Oh, and we got the supply depot over here near Moscow down there. So that's now 100% in here. I don't suppose we've gotten the railway completed yet in here. Don't think so. We've got a railway coming into Electrostal. We're building up the railway through here. Or like into Moscow itself and in through here. And also... oh, that one's already been built. Well, that's interesting. So we've got pretty darn good supplies coming in here, that's for sure. Is that one that's 80%? How much do we have in... okay, so that's 100. So how much do we have electricity production now? We still are about 50,000 megawatt hours short on a daily basis. So we still need to buy some, but it's hopefully reduced the expenditure a little bit. Right, let's go ahead and sell another technology to the Chinese. Metal alloy airframes, maybe? Question mark. And then India, we're going to sell you some large bomber airframes. Let's see, Venezuela didn't want to buy previously something from us. It was the air tech. We'll just sell them to the artillery tech then, because that is quite useful. And then Colombia, I'm going to sell you the artillery improvements. And Guatemala, you don't have a lot right now. What do you need? Other than the goods, I suppose. You need petroleum. You know what? It won't help them much. I'll give them just a little bit of petroleum, like 9,000 barrels per day for free. El Salvador, you probably need some petroleum as well, so I'm going to do the similar deal for you. For 90 days, we'll just give you the kind of the smallest amount I can do. If you could write it down, the amount that you're wanting to give, that'd be really useful. I suppose Supreme Brawl Ultimate has already reached the end of its development. I don't think it's going to get any more patches or anything like that. The development team is mostly working on the Galaxy Ruler, I believe. By now, it's a game that I haven't actually yet to try. Oh, is that another 2 Merchant Marine? Yeah. Right, let's just go ahead and bring in the remaining submarines from here. If we start, just, you know, park them over here, for example, so they don't necessarily have option to go elsewhere. That might help quite nicely. But at this stage we can probably go for very fast again, because there's not that much going on, just occasional naval combat and all that. Speaking of naval combat, did we get... Oh yeah, we got on another escort completed. Well, ain't that lovely. How much submarines are we making? We're going to get another whiskey in here soon, and in total, should have quite a few. Right, the Chapayev classes might not all be deployed right now, and there's a lot of submarines that haven't been deployed. Okay, well, in that case, let's have a look at the reserve units. Should be some submarines somewhere then. There's a lot of submarines for sure. Where exactly they are, I don't know. There we go, so... deploy? We'll figure out where they are soon. The options are, of course, a bit limited. Oh, wow, there's 4 of them in here. Alright. I wasn't expecting that. Where else do we have? I mean, no, that's just the transport ships. Do we have any at Moscow? I got 1 on Moscow. That's good. Not Moscow, Leningrad. We've got 2 submarines over there. Well, I suppose I could do. I wonder if there's a lot of traffic over here. First of all, do we have... No, we can't go through Singapore over there. So if we want to sink the enemy convoys in here, we probably have to get all the way in here, and that is a bit of a precarious situation. China's still offering industrial goods for pretty good price. And we're selling some rubber to Indonesia, alright. Sounds like the submarines have arrived. Let's just go and move them in here now. So slowly but surely we can maybe start taking the battle into the Mediterranean itself. If we could start wrestling the control over there... I mean, basically what we probably need to do is we need to start... Well, I mean... There's areas over here that we can easily defend. Once we start going into the open in the Mediterranean, it's going to get a lot different. A lot more challenging as well. Oh yeah, we got another 4 submarines in here. Right. We can still keep some submarines over here, I suppose, so guarding the entryway into the Sea of Azov. We'll have the 7 submarines already in here. These are hopefully resupplying over time. Well, they had to travel quite a bit of a distance. Did we have any more submarines produced somewhere? I mean, we had 1 at Leningrad. We got 4 at Rostov. We had 2 at... was it? Yeah, 2 at Vladivostok. I think that was all of them. Unless we have production in here. Well, we do have production, but it's not the production that I'm thinking of. Thailand and Taiwan have allied. Alright. Technically speaking, if we were to fight the British, I mean, it would be a bit of a precarious situation. Who could we fight? Or who could we declare war on if we were to declare war on? The Netherlands, USA, well, France we are already fighting. Italy, Belgium, Spain, there's a lot of nations we could potentially... I mean, one thing that might be useful is taking out Turkey. Because at that point we'd have a lot more... Well, I suppose it might be... Oh, hello. My goodness, that is a lot of merchant marines trying to get through. Not getting through though, but trying to. Man, that was probably like 20 that we just sank there, didn't we? Well, we almost reached 1400 already. But it's just the submarines are a really easy way to rack up some units destroyed. Because the merchant marines won't see them. Especially when you got more than, you know, 2. You'll pretty much guarantee a sinking. Now, I do wonder, what is our... Okay, world market superiority rate is now 9.2%, so it's still pretty bad. Treaty integrity has risen up to 45.2. It's gone up by another percent since the last time we checked that. How's the population? It should still be increasing about... Well, yeah, it's still increasing. Nothing massive, mind you, but it is increasing. Literary rate isn't too bad, and I suppose... Oh, North Vietnam and France have reached a ceasefire agreement. Alright. I'm pretty sure that they would not agree on a ceasefire with me, would they? Nope. I suppose since we still have active fighting a lot of the time, it's usually when there's nothing happening for a very long time that they just decide to call for peace. Military goods we still have plenty. Industrial goods we're buying decent enough amounts that we'll be able to survive. Consumer goods we're selling some, not massive amounts, but some. Did we have the other 4 submarines? Yeah, they're still waiting there. We'll be getting some more fleets over time. But yeah, I'd say the blockade of the Black Sea has been implemented, and it seems to be holding for now. That's what I could do, is I could move these into here somewhere, so that we'll be a little bit further in there. We'll have a bit more chances of shooting before the enemies try to get, or enemy ships get through, if they even try to get through. Oh, right, so all of these are now Bronze Star. I think they were all Bronze Stars, weren't they? These two... Oh, one of these has got on a Bronze Star as well, alright. I mean, one of them was started with that, so yeah, I'm not factoring that in. Right, China. You still probably don't want to do too much with... Ah, you might want to get a non-aggression pact. Maybe you'll want some money out of that, but that would be a good way to ingratiate ourselves with the Chinese a little bit more. They got still pretty good amount of money. I don't know how well they're dealing with... They have no debt, actually. Ah. They don't have a lot of unemployment, though. Right, so how is our healthcare rating? It's actually 101%, so we could, technically speaking, lower the upkeep by like 1 million to reduce the cost in there, and also means that we'll be employing a little bit less people in the public sector, and that means that we'll maybe have a bit more workforce available for the private sector. And yeah, there we go. Inflation has actually dropped to 8.8% now from the 9.2 that it was at some point. Unemployment hasn't really grown yet, but hopefully it will. But I'm thinking that, well, cultural subsidies, it doesn't cost us much. The law enforcement we definitely need, and the infrastructure we definitely need to keep out the productions good. Education is not massive. Well, I mean, it's 25 million per day, so it's quite a large chunk of money. But at the same time, keeping the education up a little bit probably doesn't hurt. Although I do believe, now I could be completely off on this one, but I do believe that if you have a lower sort of literacy rate, the birth rates are going to be higher. So in that case, maybe we should try, for a moment, reduce the education to like 20 million. It'll save us a little bit of money. It means a bit less, or rather a bit more unemployment, I suppose. Which means that the production costs are going to drop at least a little bit. If we can increase the birth rates a bit, it's going to take a while before we can actually see the results, so we'll probably have a look at that again in like December or something. Although, funnily enough, the literacy rate is going to be dropping then, I suppose. But yeah, we need more people, basically, is what I'm saying. And technically speaking, yeah, I'm aware that if I was to annex the colonies in here, for example, Ukraine, we'd get a lot of population from there. But at the same time, it does have a bit of a negative impact on our treaty integrity. Oh, who's this? Paraguay. Okay, so they are having a revolt over there. They are a dictatorship, so what we'll do is we'll support the change and support the coup. So they should be somewhat leaning towards us, at least. Like over here, the dictatorship in El Salvador is... Oh, it's actually 2 million people there. 3 million in Guatemala. Huh. Alright, so they're getting a pretty good populations in there overall. Colombia, let's go ahead and sell you something. Like the automatic rifles. Venezuela, I could sell you the artillery improvements. Or, no, I'm going to sell you the automatic rifles. I'm basically trying to arm the South America in such a way that they'll be helping us. No, I don't think we managed to... Right, Colombia is the one that is leaning towards us. In that case, we might... Let's have a look. What do you need in terms of resources? You don't need petroleum, you don't need timber. You don't need really agriculture either. You need rubber, but I can't really promise that. don't need coal. Okay, so I think that another thing is the goods. They need a lot of industrial goods, which we can't necessarily provide in that high numbers. Not unless we buy them from the Chinese. But yeah, I mean, suppose technically speaking, I could try annexing some of my colonies at some point, because they're not going to be factored into the amount of nations on the list here anyway. So if we were to take their resources for us to utilize, we could maybe build up the economy a little bit better. But I think right now, I mean, how is Estonia doing anyway? That was our experiment of trying to make them into somewhat profitable. They got a lot of industrial goods still, because that is what we gifted them. They got a bit of electricity production, not much extra. I suppose if we were to help them build a power plant, or sort of make them build another coal power plant, that would be more coal power that we would be buying for a fairly low price. Gonna cost them a little bit. I don't know if they have the cash to... Well, they might just about have the cash to build it. If not, we can donate them a little bit. Now, I did send up some of the submarines that we had over there near Estonia down this way, so that we can maybe start going out a little bit. New alliance formed. Canada and Australia. Wait, why is there Afghanistan planes over here in Hungary? Okay. Well, oh, they probably sold the planes to Afghanistan, but they can't fly them out of there. I think that's what's happening. Or could be happening, at least. Let's just go ahead and take some of these old planes and send them to be reserves. They will be flying pretty far to reach there, but that should be fine. I suppose some other places that we could potentially... Oh, wait. Why is Georgia Republic NATO aligned? Hold on a minute. Now, if we were to annex this, it would drop our treaty integrity by like 4 or 5%. So that would get us to, down to 50% or 40%, sorry. So perhaps not. Not yet, at least. Like, there would actually be quite a bit of population in these three nations here. In the Caucasus, so that's a possibility of, if we annex them, we'd get some more population for our workforce, and that way we'd be able to keep on our production scale. Oh, wow. Apparently the domestic approval rating has gone up a little bit at some point, but now it's going down again. Not entirely sure why. Well, I guess it's more of a case of don't ask. Right, has the literacy rating, it's still 87%. Looks like the birth rate has indeed gone up a little bit. Death rate, not so much. Immigration, I think it did increase again a little bit. Although the immigration has also been fluctuating a little bit. So yeah, there's the population increase is still like between 500,000 and 700,000 a year. Which isn't bad, but we could use a bit more. Another place that we could easily annex is Kaliningrad. It's a bit of a separated area here anyway. There is no industry there. Well, there is a naval production in there, I suppose. And an air base. Plus we got quite a bit of troops there. Old troops mostly. Oh right, we got the radar station completed. Let's have a look at the... I suppose it doesn't necessarily show the vision quite yet, although we can see over there now. So if they got some ships moving about there, technically speaking we should be able to spot them. Of course we don't have range to attack them. Syria wants to buy some more rubber, alright. They're offering a pretty good price for it at least. So we're not making a deficit in producing it. That's kind of the reason why we are producing a lot of extra rubber. Might even reduce the automatic sales a little bit more. Oh, and the minimum price, we should probably increase that a little bit. Let's go to 400. It's still a deficit of quite a bit, but at the same time... I mean, yeah, the market price is the price that we'll be selling at, but if the market price goes below that, then we wouldn't be selling at all. That's kind of what it means. Right. So I was thinking about maybe consolidating some of the republics over time, especially some of the smaller ones that can't really have their own economies anyway. And of course, how much do we have over here in the other nations? That's 7 million. 6.5, that's about 1 million. Kyrgyzstan has 1.8. Does Mongolia like us? They kind of do. Do they need something in particular? I don't think they have industry. They have no agriculture. They got agriculture and timber production, no rubber. But I don't suppose they got any industry whatsoever. That's kind of the problem, innit? And they got basically no electricity either. Yeah, so the Mongolia isn't a strong one. They don't have a lot of money either. At least they got coal production. But they're not a colony. They are the independent thing. Except we do have a lot of troops in there. 25 units. We'll just keep them there. Keep it safe. And remind them who they work for. Even if they still have their free will, so to speak. Okay, so that's 3 submarines in here already. We can move those out a little bit. Maybe we can... Ooh, actually, did we have a submarine? Oh, wait, yeah. We do have 2 submarines over here. So technically speaking, we could start setting up some submarines over here to cut off some of the supply lines, so to speak. Although it most likely won't have any significant impact in that area. Have we got on another one of the transport ships? As a matter of fact, yes, we have. Oh, and we got another submarine as well. Are we producing or deploying everything in... Oh, right, we're not deploying that. Okay. I do actually wonder, what do we have as a reserve in here? Still got some old submarines. We got one of the escorts. And some transports. Alright, so nothing great. I'll have the escort go with the transports for now. We'll probably get another escort in there at some point. But like, we've got this fleet. Well, we could actually fit in another ship in that group before it starts overflowing. I don't think we need to worry about that quite yet. But yeah, we're slowly preparing for a time where we can... Oh right, yeah, we got the submarines over here. Technically speaking, they can probably sail through Denmark. Is their way to go in here, so I don't know. Oh. Okay, Thailand has troops in Denmark. The Swedes have a lot of troops around here. And apparently Pakistan has troops in Sweden. Just 3 more days for the enhanced surface radar detection. And then that's going to unlock the integrated air defenses. Air defense site. Oh, right, the air defense site is actually going to be quite useful. Eventually. Integrated air defenses. Oh, right, so that's just that one. What about the military vessels? Oh, military vessels. Oh. Does that mean that we might actually get some carrier techs unlocked at some point? Yeah, we don't have any carrier techs yet. Bit of a problem. Oh, Austria wants to buy some consumer goods. They're offering a lot of money. Sure, I suppose. Right, so we can get the military vessels and integrated air defenses to be researched. Just to make sure that we've got a few things in here. Although, that was the integrated air defense. I'm going to pause the military vessels for now. And the Sterling... What? Does that unlock? It does unlock some new things. But at the same time, I'm going to pause that as well. So the next tech that we research is going to... Or the next... Yeah, the next tech that we're going to start researching. Oh, that was the Tactic 54. It didn't actually unlock anything over there. But I think it may have... Oh yeah, unlocked a new tank. But I want to get the power grid underway. Just because it's going to increase the power production of everything by another 50%. Now, that is the level 4 of that. And each one of these levels is an extra 50%, so it would be like all those modifiers from those techs are going to go up to 200% total. So yeah, it's not necessarily that massive increase, but it's going to be an increase. And it's going to make it a lot cheaper for us to produce the power. And well, I suppose the power production, or the cost for the power is still the same, but we need to have less manpower assigned to producing the power. So in that regard, it's going to be quite helpful. How is the unemployment right now anyway? 3.6, so it's actually improving. Inflation has dropped to 8.2%. I'll probably reduce the inflation a decent chunk. Oh, there we go. We got another submarine and we got a capital ship. Group up another set of submarines in here. I mean, eventually we'll be able to maybe even take them out into the Mediterranean. Now, I do wonder though. Does Libya... They don't hate me. Could I perhaps get a sea transit from you? No, I don't think we can. And I'm pretty sure that the Chinese did not accept our non-aggression pact. No. No missile defense either. What about sea transit? No. Let's offer the non-aggression pact again. They might answer to it this time, or they might not. They don't want to get the air transit either. Oh, because we already have the air transit. Right. No sea transit either, alright. I don't think we'll be able to get an answer from them yet. We could maybe do some more trade deals with them, to be fair. In terms of maybe some tech knowledge, for example. Improve monoplane airframes. Ooh, they're going to be paying a good price for that. And then India, we can sell some more techs, military vessels, for example. So you can start building your navy at some point. And sounds like we still have our submarine. Oh, there's Turkish patrol boat there. So yeah, the submarines have been doing a pretty good job thus far. Keeping the Black Sea clear, so we don't really need quite as much troops in here anymore. We've got some infantry scattered around here, and oh wow, that's a lot of stuff. Alright, how about you all just go into reserves? That's going to reduce the active personnel a little bit. Where do we have our... Oh right, we should have barracks there. Plus we got quite a few tanks in here now. That should be a pretty decent group there. Are we still producing the... No, we're not producing any of the AA guns there anymore. Alright, that's good. Got another group of artillery that we could maybe shuffle around here somewhere for now. But yeah, they started abandoning this area for now, so that is definitely good news for us. Got some money out of the trade deals. Also into technology, so that is also quite nice. How is our treaty integrity now? It's still... Oh, it's 46% now. Okay. So it's slowly increasing. Domestic approval rating is still 20.9%, so that hasn't really seen any change there whatsoever. World market relations are still bad. How much... Let's have a look. Relations... United Nations subsidiary rate is still 9.7%. They're disapproving of Argentina and me. Ooh. How many other nations are they disapproving? No, it's just Argentina and me. Alright. Well, I suppose that's fine. Oh, right, Finland. We haven't actually done anything with you for a while, have we? And we got the hull designs. But now we are actually lacking things to research. Let's go ahead and put in the... It was the military vessels, wasn't it? Put both of those into the research queue. Since the power grid is already underway, it's still going to take over 2 years to be completed. So that's going to take us a long while. But once it is done, it's going to be quite useful. I might do another research center. I'm going to do 2 research centers. We'll get up to 10 research at the same time. That's probably going to be more than enough for the most of the game. I mean, sure enough, you could have more. So especially if you want to research everything at the same time and then also be able to research the new unit types. They can be quite useful. But we seem to be out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.